Hello and welcome to Lantern Lane Stories. Tonight's story is The Secret Recipe of Belém. Welcome, little one. Tonight we walk in Lisbon. Lisbon is the big, gentle capital of Portugal. It sits right next to the sea. Through the city flows a wide river called the Tagus. In the evening, the river looks like silver. We walk along the river path. The sky is soft pink. The boats are sleeping in the water. The wind smells of salt and warm bread. A long white building stands by the shore. It has tall windows like lace. It is called the Jerónimos Monastery. The stone is pale, the color of cream. Long ago, in the year 1834, a small boy walked this very path. His name was Tomé. Tomé had black hair, dusty knees, and a curious smile. He worked next door at a little sugar shop. He carried sugar in cloth bags. The bags smelled warm and a little sweet, like honey on toast. Every evening, Tomé came this way. The cobblestones were smooth under his shoes. The lanterns blinked on, one by one. The big bell of the monastery rang slow. Bong, 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 3 bells, Tomé whispered. Time for the kitchen. He pushed his hair behind his ears and ran softly down the lane. The kitchen door of the monastery was big and wooden. It was always open a crack in the evening. A kind monk worked there. His name was Brother Joaquim. He had flour on his cheek and a soft, low voice. He wore a long white robe that almost touched the floor. Come in, little one, he said. Mind the pots. Tomé sat on a wooden stool by the wall. The kitchen smelled of butter, lemon peel, and warm milk. What are you making tonight? Tomé asked. Brother Joaquim smiled. Today, I am using the egg yolks again. Why are there so many yolks? Asked Tomé. The monk pointed to a tall basket in the corner. The basket was full of clean white robes. Do you see those? He said. We wash our robes every week. To make the cloth stiff and bright, we use egg whites. The whites help the cloth hold its shape. And the yolks? Tomé asked. The yolks stay behind, said the monk. It would be a shame to throw them away, so we cook with them, every single one. He poured cream and sugar into a heavy copper pot. He stirred slowly with a wooden spoon. The kitchen turned warm and gold. He cracked in the egg yolks one by one. The custard turned a bright, sunny yellow. He hummed a tiny tune. He added a thin curl of lemon peel. Then he spooned the soft custard into little cups of pastry, no bigger than a child's palm. He slid the tray into the hot oven. Tomé pressed his nose to the warm glass door. He watched the little pastries puff up. The tops turned dark and shiny. Tiny brown spots blossomed there like small burnt stars. Careful, said Brother Joaquim. Hot. He lifted one with a cloth. He blew on it 3 times. Tomé took a bite. Crunch first, then warm, then sweet, then creamy, then a little smoky sugar on top like soft caramel. His eyes grew wide. Brother Joaquim, he said softly, this is the best thing in the world. The monk laughed. His laugh was low and kind. It is only egg, cream, and sugar, he said, but the patience makes it sing. Time went on. The river rolled. The bell rang. The kitchen stayed warm. Then one autumn, something changed in Portugal. New rules came from far away. The big monasteries had to close their doors. The monks had to find new homes. Brother Joaquim packed a small wooden box. He took only his mug, his cloak, and a little book of recipes. He stood at the kitchen door and looked at his oven for a long, quiet moment. Tomé came running up the lane. His face was pink from the cold. He was holding back tears. Brother Joaquim, he said, what about the pastries? What about the recipe? The monk knelt down. His old knees creaked. Tomé, he said gently, a secret only matters if it is shared. He pulled a folded paper from inside his sleeve. On it, in neat black ink, was the full recipe. I will give it to your master, he said. The kind man at the sugar shop. His name is Senhor Domingos Rafael. He has a good oven. He has good sugar. The pastries will live there now. Tomé held the paper carefully in both hands. It smelled of butter and book pages. Will you come back? He whispered. The monk smiled. His eyes were wet but kind. I will come back to taste them, he said. I promise. Then he picked up his small box and walked off into the soft pink evening, his white robe glowing once in the lantern light before the dark folded around him. 3 years passed. Boats came and went on the silver water. Seabirds wheeled over the red rooftops. Then, in the year 1837, a small new shop opened on the very same street. The walls inside were covered in blue and white tiles. The tiles were cool and shiny. The counter was long and wooden. The oven was tall and made of stone, and it breathed warm air all day long. A sign above the door said, in fancy curling letters, Fábrica de Pastéis de Belém. That means the pastry shop of Belém. Belém is the name of this part of Lisbon, right by the river. Tomé was older now. He wore a clean white apron tied twice around his waist. He stood behind the counter, smiling. A small girl came in with her grandmother. They were holding hands. Both wore soft wool shawls dotted with little raindrops. "What can I have?" the girl asked. "You can have a pastry," said Tomé. "It is warm, it is fresh. The recipe is older than your grandma." He placed 2 on a little blue plate. He sprinkled a tiny pinch of cinnamon on top. He sprinkled a snow of powdered sugar too. The grandmother took a slow bite. She closed her eyes. "Oh," she whispered. "I have tasted this before long ago by the monastery wall." The little girl took a tiny, careful bite. Her cheeks lifted. "It is sunshine in a cup," she said. Tomé laughed quietly. He looked out the window. He thought of the copper pot. He thought of the cloth wrapped around a hot tart. He thought of a folded paper that had smelled of butter. That same shop is still open today, almost 200 years later. People walk down to Belém from all over Lisbon. They line up. They order their pastries warm. In Portuguese, the pastry is called pastel de nata. That means cream pastry. But when it is made in this very shop, it has a special name. It is called Pastéis de Belém. Only this shop is allowed to use that special name. Only the bakers there know the full old recipe. People say only a few master bakers know all the secret. That is the story they tell. Now, far away from Lisbon, you might meet one too. Maybe in a bakery near your home. Maybe on a Sunday morning on a tiny plate with a glass of cold milk. If you do, take a small bite. Feel the crunchy shell. Feel the soft yellow custard inside. Look at the dark freckles on top like quiet stars. And remember a river that smelled of salt. Remember monks who never wasted a single yolk. Remember a boy named Tomé with a folded paper in his hand. Remember a kind voice that said, "A secret only matters if it is shared." Outside the shop tonight, the lamps glow buttery yellow. The river is quiet. The boats rock. A small striped cat curls on a doorstep. Far off, a guitar plays slow and gentle. Inside, the bakers wash their pans. The flour settles. The last warm tart cools on the counter. The blue tiles glow in the moonlight, like the sea at midnight. And so, Lisbon also slowly fell asleep. Good night.